Next question, Mark from Blackburn, Lancashire. Hi, James and Dutch. I was scrolling through Facebook as I was unable to sleep and came across. He sent us a link that we can't show, especially, unfortunately, because technical limitations. But anyway, it's a promo, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, 1993, of the Stud Stable versus the Heavenly Bodies and Arn Anderson. Now, the Stud Stable consists of Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden, and Dutch Mantell. Can you tell us a bit more about the match that you had with the Heavenly Bodies and Arn Anderson and your time as part of the Stud Stable in Smoky Mountain, please?
Well, I don't know how it came about. Jim Cornette was booking. I guess he was looking for somebody to put with Robert and Jimmy for the Stud Stable. And the Fullers have done the Stud Stable in different iterations many times, but they were going to bring it there. So, and Jimmy just told me, he said, be really on the side of Robert and Jimmy, like I really sided with them no matter what they did. So I became like an advocate of theirs. So when they brought me in, it was a big deal that I was going to be part of the Stud Stable. So we go somewhere, I guess, against the, who was it? Who
Heavenly Bodies and Arn Anderson.
Heavenly Bodies. That was who?
I don't know if it was the Stan Lane version, because I know it's Dr. Tom, but it's either it's probably Stan Lane in 93, I think.
Okay.
Not Jimmy Del Rey, but don't quote me on that. Jimmy Del Rey replaced Stan Lane, I think, in 93, so I don't know.
So it was Richard, Tom, and Stan, and Arn.
We'll assume Stan.
Okay. And I forgot where we were, but it was a weekend show. I remember that. Somewhere in Kentucky. Could have been anywhere. And we pushed it a couple of weeks on TV, and the TV was fairly well watched. It had a good viewership. And even going to Knoxville in that building, they ended up with some hellacious houses there. They did. And the match was okay. You know, of course, we just set it up to where, Arn to get the hot tag, and then we go home. Of course, they beat me because I was just an announcer. I wasn't really a wrestler. I was an announcer, and we were the stuff. Of course, when I was always on commentary, I'd always say what a great guy Robert is, and what a humanitarian, and what a community leader, and he goes to church, and he was just Mr. Perfect. And then Jimmy was the same thing, and as he teaches swimming down at the YMCA, and all this stuff that made them look like just great people. And Bob Caudle will say, I never heard that. I said, well, you don't hear everything, Bob. You just hear the negative because you want to hear that. And I talk about how great they are and how I'm so proud to team with them. That's how I got with them. But those guys, Robert, and I would do interviews with them. And none of these interviews were rehearsed. They were just strictly off the top of Robert's head and Jimmy's head. And then when it come time to do mine, I just did mine off the head. I remember one thing I said, I've got kicked out of this, and this in a newspaper office and a radio station. I got kicked out of everywhere for something I'd done. And then I come up here, and only people that commiserized with me was Robert and Jimmy, my good friends. But it's entertaining to listen to it. And you say, where in the hell did they come up with that? See, you can't get a writer to write that stuff. So that Robert, he would say some things sometimes, and I said, why in the hell he said something one time about a guy who had an illegitimate baby with this girl. And it was actually going on, I think, at the time. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't know. I don't want to be, I don't want no heat coming back on me. But that Robert, he was too much. He really was. Great guy. But Robert could talk. He could talk. We left to go to a town one day. It's about 150 miles away. Robert got to talking, and after about 30 miles out of the town, I looked at him and I said, Robert, have you even stopped to take a breath? He just go, now it's entertaining as hell. It is. I don't care what he's talking about. He can make changing a tire interesting somehow. It's just the way he talks. His brother's the same way. Jimmy's kind of quiet, but that Robert, he's a talking son of a gun and entertaining. And that's what you want on long trips is somebody who's entertaining. I don't care what they're saying. Long as it's entertaining and they're not irritating. And Robert was entertaining. Irritating? No, never.
I'm trying to think where the stud stable was, because apparently Smoky Mountain Wrestling, because I didn't even know that they wrestled in Smoky Mountain, but I know they're in Memphis. I know they're obviously in the Fuller territory. How long were they in SMW for? Because I didn't even know that Robert Fuller had appeared for Smoky.
No, they was in about a year or so.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they's around a while. Oh, yeah. So.
Well, there's a gap in my knowledge of Exposed there. I had no idea, but yeah, we've got to get. I keep saying this. We need Robert Fuller on as a guest.
Oh,
he's like a dream guest.
You got a number
on him? Goddamn, boys, what's going on? Great.
Oh, he's great. He is. He's entertaining. I'm gonna call him.